Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Citizen Aid. We're reviewing the week with bloggers Tim Selwyn and Cameron Slater. Issue 3 this week, Stephen Joyce shuts down rail loop idea because of a shortfall in next year's budget. Is this the first strike against Len's public transport dream, and is Wellington dictating terms to Auckland Super City already? Tim, Stephen Joyce said the government cannot consider expanding the rail network until an expected $30 million annual operating deficit is fixed. But much of that threatened operating deficit is a result of government transport funding changes in favour of more roads. Is this Wellington telling Auckland what to do already?
Yeah, there will always be a reason why Auckland can't have something as far as Wellington's concerned. It's as simple as that. Look, and as far as these budgets go and everything, it's always 3 to 5 years ahead, and we'll do something. And when it comes to the crunch and the budgets are put out, and the next year has to be funded, it's not there.
Right.
We'll find another excuse to put it off.
So this, hold on. So this is a tactic, right? This is a tactic.
It is a tactic, but to be fair,
a sensible one.
To be fair, Auckland hasn't organised itself to present a credible program about how they will pay for it, how we will pay for it long term. And if we find it doesn't matter what the cost is, if we present a plan about how we're going to pay for it, then they will probably, hopefully, even though it's Wellington, approve it. But we haven't. Auckland hasn't.
Yeah, but you still got to find the $5 billion. It's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah, borrow. Cam, you hate public transport.
Infrastructure bonds, they call it.
Yeah, infrastructure bonds. And you want to degrade it to the level...
That's just borrowing with a fancy name.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you want to degrade it to the level of cattle trucks. So why does Stephen Joyce hate public transport so much? He said the first time he caught a bus was when he was appointed transport minister. Is he the right person to be destroying Auckland's public transport?
What's to destroy? I mean, the thing is that Auckland is so different from Wellington, and we're having public transport ideas foisted upon Auckland from people who live in Wellington and catch the train from Tawa.
No, it's the funding being restricted that's the idea.
Len doesn't live in Wellington, he lives in Auckland.
You talk about the rail loop, there's one letter missing off there, and it's a Y.
Why?
It's the rail loopy. It's a stupid idea.
It's a great idea.
If Transit are going to buy a tunnel to do the water view to Three Kings motorway,
I don't agree with that either.
Then they're going to have to first do the rail loop.
They should have just reefed the earth out and no tunnel and just opened it up a lot cheaper. They should have done that.
We're just saying what the options are. You know, there are options about how they juggle resources around, where the resources go.
It was Helen Clark that foisted the tunnel on Transit.
And Transit actually want it now because they want the tunnelling machine. All I'm saying is get the tunnelling machine to build the city rail loop first. But they won't because that's not their priority. Rail isn't their priority.
Ask Kiwi Rail whether they want to have a rail loop, and they will run like that you're foisting cancer upon them.
Why let Kiwi Rail dictate what the rail policy for Auckland's going to be?
Exactly. Because we paid $1 billion to the Australians for it.
There's no unified rail authority in Auckland. When there is, we'll get it sorted out.
Yeah.
And what about the billions to put a rail line to the airport?
Okay, we all think that's a bit dodgy.
Through the airport to Wirral and up to where do you live again? Awful Botany or somewhere?
Buckland's Beach.
Both of you, will Auckland ever get a public rail service that works if Wellington is hell-bent on preventing it? Are we ever going to get one?
We'll never get a public rail system that works because there isn't one in the world that does.
Oh, that's just so mean-spirited.
It is.
That really is very mean-spirited and cruel. You hate public transport. That's your problem.
I don't mind public transport. It's good for other people to take.
No, I reject that. I think we have got the population to do it.
We don't have enough.
But the fact is, if you go through the suburbs, you know as well as I do, there's 2, 3, 4 car garaging, huge big car parking spaces on every single house on the street in those suburbs.
The brilliant thing is about all of those cars.
What is the brilliant thing?
Is the state didn't pay for them.
No, but they do damage the environment with all of that.
So it'd be all right if they all had Priuses.
Well, people are locked into them. They don't have a choice of public transport versus car. They have to buy a car.
That's right, because the public transport is such a problem.
We should have driverless cars as taxis.
You're crazy idea.
Yeah, okay.
Technology will solve the problem. And not 19th century technology like trains.
Are we going to see more
monorail? It's a hyper version of monorails, basically, isn't it?
When are we going to get the trains going?
We're not.
Well, unless Auckland, the Auckland Council needs to work something out, but it's the who pays for it is the important issue. If you can demonstrate to Wellington that Auckland will pay for it over the long term, then it's got a chance of being rubber stamped through. But if we're going to have to ask the central government for funding, Wellington will always find a reason to say no.
But
Wellington has already got electrified trains.
Right.
When did that happen? That's the 1940s.
1940s.
We're 50 years behind them.
50 years behind Wellington.
But if you wore Julius Marlowe shoes and walk shorts and cardies, you'd want to have electrified trains too. It's the that's what civil service.
They pull up their socks so high because it is cold there.
Cam, who wins, who loses by defeating Len Brown's public transport vision?
I think the ratepayers will win because we don't have to pay for his silly pipe dreams. He's currently sitting...
He was voted in based on those arguments.
On $5 billion worth of expenditure that he has no possibility of funding.
But the people voted for him.
Well, that means
you're anti-democratic. He's anti-democratic.
So are you.
What's the? Only when it's the right way. Only when it's the right way. I'm only optionally undemocratic when it's the right way.
You want communist jackboots. I want fascist jackboots.
Ours are much more comfortable. Ours are much more comfortable. Who wins? Who loses by defeating Len Brown's? Who wins? Who loses by defeating Len Brown's public transport dream?
I think Len Brown is going to have to really pull out the stops here because Wellington can stop it. Because one way or the other, it's either Wellington's going to have to approve legislation and enable to have this funding occur and the planning to do it properly, or else they're going to have to ask for direct funding, and that's going to be really, really tricky. To get that past Stephen Joyce, who wants a motorway to his and John Key's batch up north,
that's all
and all the other roading projects. They don't care about rail, they don't care about public transport.
It's the 11th of November, we're 11 days into the new council under Len Brown. We were promised 100 initiatives, one a day, for the first 100 days. I've only heard...
Well, maybe Connor should shut his mouth a little.
I've only heard of 3.
Maybe.
The first one was to instruct some people to do some paperwork. The second one was to clean the windows of the town hall.
That's 2. That's 2. There you go.
And the third one...
98 to go.
Len Brown today is sitting in Aotea Square as the mayor in the chair. Now, where's that going to get us on public transport?
And what was Banksy's first priority?
25
to get a parking space for his Bentley, wasn't it?
I believe that was it.
That was the first term. That was his first term.
That was first term. And he succeeded in getting there. Good on Banksy.
Straight away.
Let's wrap the show with last word. Tim, your last word this week is?
Freakishly, I've been looking at new phones and stuff, and the convergence of technology is almost there where we can have live streaming from a phone. It's basically if you have a TV interface through the internet, that's it. That's live TV on your phone everywhere. Everyone can have a TV channel, and it's very, very close. I've just been looking around, and it's very close to happening.
It's got you all barred up, hasn't it?
And this will change everything. It will actually change everything. So we're not there yet.
In what way?
Next year, because more people can enter the market and there will be a lot more variety and different things happening. So it could be interesting. It's probably how it's packaged, though.
It means the mainstream media is not going to be able to have...
and the prices are dropping too, as well. So it's coming into line. But maybe next year we'll see some interesting developments.
Cam, your final word?
My final word, same as last week. It's Movember at the moment. Focus on some fundraising for men's health issues. Glad to see, Bomber, you've struggled to get a moustache. Struggled to get a moustache going there. Tim's...
Very manly.
Movember.co.nz. You can do a search for whale oil, find my team there and make a donation.
Oh, how much have you raised so far?
I think I've got about 4 or 5 donations, only around about $200 for them.
Oh, that's good.
The donations usually come in at the end.
Okay. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Cam. Ladies and gentlemen, to my final word, George W. Bush defended the use of torture in his memoirs this week. Cue open mouth shock look now. I had no idea he could write. Listening to this tired old fool defend torture ignores the outright manipulation of the case for war, which was planned and manufactured for America's geopolitical future more than anything to do with the 9/11, and as a reminder of why this idiot should be up on war charges. Arrogance blinded by superpower ignorance is no defence for the massacre and war crimes he perpetrated in Iraq. One thing is for sure, no one has manipulated the fear of terrorism to commit more terrorism than the self-righteous, self-serving George W. Bush administration. All Bush proved was that war is terrorism with a much bigger budget and better PR. History will judge him as the clumsy warmonger he is, not the freedom-fighting hero he wished he was. On next week's Citizen A blog blogger Phoebe Fletcher and radio broadcaster Stephen Oates join me to review the week's events. If you like tonight's show, please join our Citizen A Facebook site and connect with other like-minded news citizens. Thanks for watching, whānau. Good night, Aotearoa.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.